In this video, we're going to talk about the task pipeline and what you can do to keep track of the different tasks at a more global level. So the very first thing we'll look at is snapshots. This is basically just a way to save the settings for whatever you are currently looking at. For example, I haven't really done much to this particular view. It's just looking at all tasks, no filters or anything. So I might create a snapshot that says something like all tasks. So just literally going to show me all the different tasks that I have. So now I'll be able to switch around if I create another snapshot and quickly just hop between these different views. So that could be really useful. Maybe I'll create one for, tasks that are due today, maybe a past due view, something like that. So you just have some different quick views that you can have saved here for your snapshots. And then from there, we'll go ahead and just play with some of these different settings. As you can see, I have all my different tasks here. You can modify these from this spot. You can expand this to see all the different details within it. Tags, the roles, who it's assigned to, the actual conditional for the dates. I'm going to collapse that, so just looking at the main details here. You'll see the address it's assigned to. For this, I have them all just on with the same transaction, but you might have, however many different transactions and tasks across the board. You can complete the task right from here. You can select multiple tasks by clicking on these manually. And then you'll have these options down here. We can mass affect the tasks. I can also click all, none, just a quick way to select them all or not. You'll see if anything is due immediately. So this one, the red is showing that's either due today or past due, due in a day, due in 2 days. If anything is excluded from the portal views, any sort of notes, your child-parent connections, all that kind of fun stuff. You'll also see who it's assigned to. And you'll have all the same options you would normally have with tasks where you can pin it. That's more useful inside of the transaction itself, but you could pin it to the top so you know that this is something that you'll see even if it doesn't have a due date, you'll see that at the top of the list. If it's critical, looking at some of the internal details, instructions, anything like that, data options, so contingents, whatever it might be contingent on. If there's any triggers, like this one here, so I can click on this button or this one, it's going to open up my triggers menu, so I can look at that. If it's recurring, or just deleting out the task itself. I'm going to mostly focus on the filters here though. So right now I have this set to all tasks. If you click on this, or you can go, clicking left or right. But if you click on it, you see all the different options here. I'm looking at all tasks. Maybe I just want to look at the ones that don't have a due date yet. If anything might be past due, which I don't have anything past due, so it's all clear there. Yesterday is kind of like past due. Past due is going to be literally everything that's past due. Yesterday is just the ones that might be a day behind. Things that are due today, and so on. You get the idea there. And you can push that all the way up to the next 90 days of tasks that might be coming up. Let's go ahead and switch back to all tasks. Something else you can do is search by a specific address or just one transaction. Again, these are all for the same transaction, so I won't have too many options here. But if I was to say, start looking for this address, it pops up for me and say, oh, yep, that's the one I want to look at. And it would narrow down to just the task with that transaction. So if you had multiple transactions, that would be more useful. You can also filter down by a specific team. So you'd have to select which one it is. In this case, they're all assigned to this one transaction, which is assigned to the transaction team. So I'll go ahead and click on that one. And then I can even filter it further by an individual team member that's part of this team. So I look here, these are the different members of the transaction team. And I'm going to say, I want to see just Stewie's tasks. And it'd be just this one here. And if I expand this, you'll see it's assigned to the email specialist, which is Stewie. So that's why that pulled up. I'll go ahead and clear those out. And then you can also have these last few options here. You can sort by color. So if you are using color labeling on your tasks, not everyone does that, but if you are, you can filter down by those colors. So maybe I know that all my blue ones are my introduction tasks or something like that. So I can say, okay, I just want to look at my blue ones. And then similar of mind will be the tags here. So again, if I expand this, you'll see I have a couple of different tags I've created. So this one has been tagged as a reminder. This one's been tagged as an introduction email, or rather an introduction task. And then you can even add multiple ones. So this could be reminder and introduction if I wanted to do something like that. So you could put multiple tags on there. But of course, if I said, I just want to see my introduction emails, it's just this one here. And then our final option here is going to be looking at the ones that we've marked as critical tasks. So I click on that, narrows it down, and you'll see both these have been marked as critical. This one's actually pinned, which is, again, more important when you look at the transaction. It'll be at the top of the list, but it is showing it's pinned, and it's a critical, and this is just a critical one. And there you go. Hopefully that will help out with keep track if you had, need to look at a more global view of your different tasks, maybe looking at all your introduction ones that are due today or something like that. However you set this up, just remember to create a snapshot for it if you ever need to use that again, just so you don't have to keep recreating the filters every time. You just click right on your snapshot and it pulls everything up the way you had it set up. So hopefully that will help keep track of all your tasks.